that cow and make sure that cow was dead, stopped, or turned away. And there was just something about it. So I went up to him and I said, I just got to tell you, because you haven't helped me ever until the show. And when you say be sure, because the way he said it, be sure, I said it just made me relax and totally focus on that cow. And just when I kind of did that, the cattle would stop and let me off better too. Like the whole thing worked. And he did a few things like that that really helped me. So I marched myself right up there and I said, and he was like, oh, well, thanks. I didn't know that. Nobody's ever said that before. I'm like, oh.
That would work for locking onto your cow too.
Sure.
Right, because that's where, as you said earlier, that's where I mess up. I'm down to 3 and I kind of panic that I'm going to get stuck.
Yeah, or just wait, or whatever word works for you is what Barb was saying.
It's called scripting.
Yeah.
You script yourself. So at the quit, you guys could script yourself. Be sure. Be sure. Be sure.
I have a fun way to practice being centered and not meaning, because I used to have to drive over Ortega Highway for an hour for my cutting lesson, and since I was new at cutting, every time you're already looking forward because you're driving, and every time I would hit a curve, I would sink my butt in the I'm telling you.
I'm going to do that. I have a cramp.
Okay.
Awesome. And so every time
Go
I
to the
would hit that
motel.
curve, you tend to lean into it when you're driving. So I would just use my hips to stay balanced.
That's awesome.
I'm already looking forward. So I would do it an hour out there and an hour back. And my feet got pretty good.
And you're training muscle memory too.
You're training
Yeah.
to respond to certain situations without you thinking. Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
Do you think by doing it and slowing down, I try and do like cow, horse, and then me. Is that kind of okay or not?
Yes, and remember that I mean, my goodness, look at reining, how many tiny little bits and pieces there are. Every equine discipline is made up of tiny bits and pieces. So when you say cow, horse, then me, to me, that is, the vision I get is a stop. The cow goes, the horse goes, and then the horse brings you. That's for that piece. Now, going across the arena, reading the cow and wanting to stay balanced wouldn't help that. So that's where the scripting comes in. So like when you get stopped, you'd go, whoo, wait, just wait and see. Like so much of cutting is like you have to really, like whether it's a cut or whatever, you have to wait and see what's really happening, not what you think you want to happen.
I'm going to stand next to you. My mic will pick you up and at least be on the video.
Okay.
Oh. I heard.
How'd you do that without coming over here? You got some kind of special something? You had something to say. Thank you.
She's good.
CIA is here.
Yeah, I know. Wired. I got wiretapped.
Go ahead, Jan.
We all are. I had an interesting one just last week on the mare that Barb is on. That's a new horse of mine, and I haven't ridden her on a cow very much at all. And Justin was helping me with her because he worked with her when Eric bought her. And he kept saying to me, "Get up on that cow. Get up on that cow. Kick her. Get up on that cow." And I thought he meant turn and go toward the cow. And he was totally confusing me. And all of a sudden he said, "Across." And I went, "Oh, he doesn't want me to get closer to the cow. He wants me to get on the other side of the cow." Because Sandy would always say, "Get across that cow. Cross that cow. Get across that cow to be up, in the right position to stop it and turn it." But it was such an interesting semantics thing because he just said it with a different term.
So the moral of that is when you guys don't, if you're not 100% sure what your trainer's saying, you need to ask him or her.
Yeah, so I said, "I get it now. Sandy says across the cow. You mean across, right?" And he goes, "Yes, I mean across." I want to interject it a million times.
Good. I want to interject something. The horses are the same, and I tell this to a lot of people. When you're trying to communicate with your horse and ask him to do something, and he does not get it, you need to ask a different way. You need to use a different vocabulary because normally they're not being stupid and they're not being ignorant. They just don't understand and you're not explaining it well. And so when you say, you know, well, it wasn't until I heard this word or whatever, it's the same for them. They have that same experience. So like if I'm asking a horse to do something a certain way and they're not getting it, I think, okay, I want to try this a different way. And I'll explain it to them a different way. And so you want to have a whole bag of tools so you can explain things differently to different horses because every horse learns differently. And you'll know when they get it. And when they get it, you go, okay, well, that's how I need to explain it to them. You know, and
You guys are all women, I can say this. I had a hard time at 38 getting my first horse finding my seat.
uh-huh.
And so my girlfriend would say, roll your hips back, roll your hips
Oh,
back. How the hell do I do that? And then finally we were trotting along one time, she said, beaver to the wind. I got it!
Oh my God.
I got it.
Oh my God, I've never heard that one before.
so yeah, so that's a really good example of it. Yep.
Well, and if you can laugh, that's even better, you know, because then you really remember it. That's like watching cattle to call them Lyle Lovett or whatever.
It also helps, you know, I worked with Dave Costello for 2 years, and his Australian accent's so heavy, so I'm doing my running, and he's yelling. I hear him yelling, quit, quit, but it's so heavy, he was telling me to kick. I was so, you know, so if it's communicating with your trainer, it's so important.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I put my hand, he goes, what the hell are you doing? Kick. Oh, God.
You know, trainers are only human and they only can be as good as you help them to be. And not all trainers are equal in communication skills or reading their students' skills. And so it's just like you're married to your trainer, really. It's even a more tight relationship in a lot of ways. And so you have to help them know what's best for you. And because 99% of them are more than willing to change what they're doing to help you. And the 1% that don't, well, you just go find another trainer. But really, they want to know how to help you best. They just maybe aren't skilled enough to ask you that question. Like, how do I help you best, you know? So if they don't ask you that, be sure you tell them. We better get a move on, huh?
Yeah.
Is everybody good with all that? Any questions? Cool. Well, let's split in half, and you know, so much for the less complex rein stuff because it looks like we only had 3 or 4, so that wanted more. So we're going to do it all anyway. We've got 3 days. We're going to cover everything.
So what are we doing?
Just split up however you want. There was only 3 people that.
Wait, what are we doing?
Well, we're going to split in half. Half of you are going to go over and work on the flag, and half of you are going to stay here and we're going to do some rain work stuff, whatever that may be. And then in an hour, we're going to switch.
And then if you don't want to do rain work, just stay over there.
Sure.
How's that?
Yeah. But there isn't a horse that I've seen today that couldn't benefit
Yeah, I
from
would
some
highly
softness
recommend.
in the face and some feel. So I'm just here to say that take advantage of both of us, you know. You don't have to go down the fence. That's all fine. You can have another flag turn or whatever.
That'd be just like cutting.
Sure. That too. Well, we're not doing cows this afternoon, so. Okay, so
I don't know if boxing's like cutting though, because they keep pushing it. We'll do it later.
Can we rotate through, like after we do the flag, just come over here and do flag? I mean,
We're going to stay in our groups
Yeah.
until we switch.
because I think you'll benefit again from watching people.
Yeah.
And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll go with this group.
that's fine.
I'll come back and rain.
Anybody that you know takes a clinic, learns to be a good clinic taker, learns how important it is to watch. Because everybody makes the same mistakes. So if you watch people make the same mistakes, then you know when you're making it and somebody says that to you. But also you train your eye. And then you can help your
Man,
friends, or
I
you
got
can know
it.
when you see somebody have a problem at a show what happened. So really, really pay attention to the other riders during a clinic and don't ever get bored or, you know, we're all here to have fun. You know, it really isn't.
I think you'll be surprised at how
You picked yourselves.
the coaching
You picked
yourself will
yourselves.
impact
Yeah.
your riding.
Okay, so
Very
we do have,
extraordinary.
that's all fine. Tell me what the biggest challenge is.
Oh,
Like,
good.
let's go
I'm so
basic
glad.
because you know the fun.
I guess that's good. I don't know.
fundamentals.
Let's see here. How many people do we have? I think we have 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3 more.
I could use a couple more people.